Hey everybody, I'm Amy from BodyFit by Amy, and this is your Back to Basics Strength with Weights workout. In this workout, we are taking it back to basics. That does not mean easy. That means that we are not going to be doing any crazy combinations or compound movements. We're focusing on our big movement patterns that strengthen our entire body and get our heart rates up. I'll be working with dumbbells and kettlebells today, but you use what you have available to you. And of course, I'm going to give you lots of options to work to your level. Are you ready? Let's do it. Let's start just by getting our bodies warm. You can march, you can jog, you can shake up those arms or pump your arms. We're just going to get a little blood flowing, get our bodies ready to move. Roll those shoulders here. This is going to be a fun workout today. What I love about these back to basics workouts is if you've been here before, you know that I refer to back to basics just sort of our simple movement patterns. That doesn't mean they're easy. That means they're the things that we need to be doing in our workouts because we do them in everyday life, right? Our squat, our hinge, our pull, our push. Let's step it out right here. So, you know I love to get creative with it too, so often we'll start back to basics and then add on, but that's not what we're doing today. We are keeping it all back to basics. We have a circuit of 7 exercises, and it's everything we just talked about. So it's our 7 basic movement patterns, give or take. Let's take it up right here with a hinge. So we have a squat, we have our upper pull, we have our hinge, we have our upper push, we have our lunge, and then we have some core, which we're kind of lumping all together. Flat back down, right through here. So we are getting it done with those 7 exercises, but you know I like to spice it up, so we're gonna keep it super simple with just that. But our second and third rounds, I'm gonna give you a variation. Same exercise, still back to basics, but I will give you a variation if you want to take it. If you are a beginner, let's tap it back right here. If you're a beginner and you wanna keep with that very first move as you're learning or as you're getting back into exercise, that is totally fine. Nothing should be overly complicated, but of course I want to give you some options for a little variety because our bodies like it, right? Let's hold this right here. You can open up that hip flexor nice and wide. You can either just take it here or take it down. Reach it up here and let's rotate through. Right through here, getting it done. And then we'll bring it back up and we'll take it down to the other side. We'll be working in all of our planes of motion, so no need to get too scientific on that, but all planes of motion, getting rotation, getting forward, getting lateral. We often refer to them as frontal, sagittal, and transverse. Take it right here. Slowly, let's roll it up. Stand up a little core right here, little twist, little twist. So, hopefully that makes sense. I'll be working with dumbbells and kettlebells today. You use whatever you have available to you. It does not matter. You can also just keep it body weight. Let's tap it out and reach. If you want to make sure that you're just learning the form. And of course, if you can, and especially if you have been working out for a while, please aim to go heavy, especially on those lower body or those bigger muscles. We're gonna kind of start big and work our way down to those accessory muscles as we go. So go heavy, challenge yourself in a way that's good for you. You know I say that because sometimes people think they have to do exactly what I'm doing or what somebody else is doing. This is your workout. You will hear me say, be where you are today. You do you. I want you to be challenged, but in a way that works for you. So just a little step touch, nice and easy. Now that the energy's going, watch me here. Your very first exercise, you can do dumbbell or kettlebell. I'm gonna take it with a kettlebell so I can go a little heavier, but you can also have one dumbbell in the center. We're just doing our basic squat and bring it up like you're sitting in a chair. If you wanna keep it body weight, take it here, you can. Then we're gonna take it to some upper pull. So we'll be alternating, but starting with that squat for 40 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Drive the hips to the back, sit in the chair, all the way up. Now we're gonna give you some options as we go to take those toes out. Our next round will be a plie, then an option to switch your placement of your weight. Again, back to basics, but with a little variety so you can feel the difference. But you can always just do this regular squat, keeping the chest open so we don't want those shoulders to round. Chest open, Sitting in the chair, driving the hips to the back, and then coming up. Squat, not a hinge. You often hear me say hinge, not a squat, right? Right through here. 3, 2, 1. Set that aside. Next, we're going to our basic upper body pull. My favorite exercise is your bent over row. So 2 dumbbells if you have them. Try to go heavy if you're able because these are strong muscles. We're gonna roll those shoulders back. We're gonna have our weights in front. We're gonna pull towards our hips. Ready? Here we go. Now, you're letting those weights come down in front, but we really wanna make sure we have a nice flat back. So we're not rounding here. If you need to stagger, sometimes that can be helpful if you're feeling too much in that lower back, or if you need to alternate one at a time. That's always an option. Or if you wanna go with a heavier kettlebell. Now with these upper pull and upper push, we're gonna be full on changing exercises like we talked about, giving you variety, but starting with our bigger muscles, working to those smaller accessory muscles. So with the upper and pull and upper push, I do want you to try to at least try the variety. One more and relax because it's going to be a little bit different. Next, we're going with a deadlift. So this is our hinge pattern. Hinge, we do this all day long. With picking stuff off the floor, take heavy dumbbells or kettlebell, weights close to the front of the legs, stand up straight. We got 40 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1, here we go. So your hinge, I know we were just in that hinge position with our row, but really just think, stand up straight, connect with the core, squeeze in those glutes and hamstrings, but stopping straight. What we're not doing is hyperextending or pulling those hips forward, right? We're stopping here. What can be helpful if you're feeling your back, bring those weights by your side, or you can always take the weight out of it and just work through the movement pattern, right? Again, we do this motion all day long, picking things up off the floor. Last one, relax. All right, so now we've got an overhead press, so our upper push. I'm gonna do 2 dumbbells here, out and in. You can also do 1 dumbbell or 1 kettlebell. Go ahead and grab those weights, something a little lighter. Maybe that makes more sense to you. Looks like this, here and here. Join me. Now, this is often called an Arnold press. One of the reasons I love it is because we get, as you can tell, that rotation through the shoulder joint, that movement all the way through. But certainly if it feels better just to go straight up and down, or here, up and in, down and out, or 1 dumbbell, which would look like this, 1 dumbbell or kettlebell, that's always an option. You do you, again, find what is best for you. We've got 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Woo, I'm using all of the weights today. All right, team, so now we are taking it to a lunge pattern. Now, your lunge pattern, traditional lunge, you might think reverse lunge, that's what we're gonna go with today. If you need to keep it stationary and drop it down, you can. If you need to make it a little smaller, that's fine. If you need to keep it body weight, totally fine. Or 2 heavy weights or 1. I'm gonna go 1 heavy kettlebell on the inside, but you do you. So my right foot forward, left foot back, or stepping back. Here we go. Here, and bring it up. Now, having the weight on one side is gonna add a little layer of pull to your core. So if that doesn't feel right for you, just go 2 dumbbells, 1 on either side. They'll help you balance. That may even allow you to go a little heavier. So sometimes I like to feel that extra work in my core, right? But maybe that's making you feel too off balance. Take it with 2 or keep it body weight. Especially if you're a beginner, trust me, you're gonna feel this lunge. If you need to tap it back, that works too. 3, 2, 1. Relax, catch your breath. Should get your heart rate up, right? Anytime we're working these bigger muscles, it requires a lot of energy. Other side, stepping back in here. So again, a great modification is just a tap back, slight bend in this front leg, drive out of it. Whatever you need to do for you. Other side, 3, 2, 1. And up, right here. And here. Again, if the weight starts to feel like it's pulling you, or you're feeling your back, or you can't keep that nice open chest, drop the weight and keep it body weight. You're gonna feel it, I promise. And here, boom. Yes, you can. 10 seconds, whatever is best for you. And then we got our core coming. It's gonna be down on the mat. 3, 2, 1. Woo! So let's take it down to the mat. You felt that, right? We got our squat pattern, our upper pull, our hinge, our upper push, and our lunge pattern. Let's add some core. Again, core, we're grouping it all together. We get flexion and extension, some rotation. We're gonna start here. Now, generally safe for most people, but if you'd rather keep it grounded, you can do what we call a little arm and leg slide right here. But if you can, little dead bug, opposite arm, opposite leg, closing the core. So no movement actually through the spine. It's all about stability. Here we go. Now on this core work, I want you to think about a little gentle tuck of the pelvis. You're not pushing into the ground, but making sure you've got that neutral spine, right? And I call it zipping up the core, where you're stacking the rib cage over the hips. Make sure you don't have an arch either way. And then as the arm and the leg go out, you have to work hard to stabilize. So button up that rib cage here. I like to think of it as closing the core as everything comes in. Breathing through the movement. Head and neck are resting. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Hug those knees in, up onto your feet, team. Let's grab a sip of water. So with our core as well, we will be mixing up the movement every circuit. So I encourage you to try the newer version. Let's grab some water, team. So there you go. I know that moved quickly, but the good news is now you know those moves. Cheers, y'all. So now we can add slight variations, or you can keep it regular, just to keep getting those movement patterns in our body. So if you're new to this, a great way to start, but also if you've been doing this a while, a great way to go heavier, really perfect your form. So we're back to that squat, team. I'm gonna grab my dumbbells this time because we're gonna turn our toes out for a plie squat. It's gonna look like this. If that doesn't feel right for your legs, go back to those toes forward. Use a chair if you need to, but if you can, grab something heavy with me, and we're gonna squat it down, plie squat. Here we go. So it just looks like this. My toes are out. I'm still getting low, but it's a little more of a downward motion, less of driving those hips to the back, right? When I use dumbbells, like to rest them right on my legs. If you have something heavier and you wanna go down in the center, 1 dumbbell or 1 kettlebell, or 2, that's a great option as well. Squeeze up through those inner thighs and glutes. You can probably already feel the difference, right? We're still getting quads, we're still getting hamstrings, but a lot more glutes, a lot more inner thighs, right? 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, team, so you are welcome to keep that bent over row for our upper pull, but if you wanna mix it up, reverse fly. Go a little lighter if you're doing that one with me. We're extending from the shoulders instead of pulling up with the lats. Core is engaged right here. Here we go. Now this one is tougher, right? Because we're extending longer through the arms. We're engaging more of those smaller muscles in our back and in our shoulders. We still wanna stay in that hinge pattern, that hinge position. If it starts to feel like too much or you feel like you're straining, alternate, take it one at a time. Maybe you're like me, you're still feeling your heart rate up from that squat. I told you, we don't have to be doing jumping jacks or doing high impact to get high intensity, right? You can get it from your strength training. 3, 2, 1, relax. All right, team, so that was a different version of upper body pull. Now we're gonna take it to a kickstand deadlift. So we did our hinge here, right? Our regular deadlift. Kickstand, we set 1 foot back like a kickstand. We hinge it forward. You can go 2 heavy dumbbells, 1 heavy kettlebell or 1 heavy dumbbell. If that doesn't feel right for you, you can just get the regular deadlift. we're gonna go 30 seconds and 30 seconds. Here we go. 30 seconds right one forward, stand up straight. Now, there is another variation that we're not gonna do where we do a single leg, where we lift that back leg off the ground. I love that variation. It really works balance. It also works your core. But here I find that I can really push through that front leg to get glutes and hamstrings. It's still a hinge. Drive the hips to the back, stand up straight. One more. We're gonna go right into that other side. So get set. Here we go. Stand up straight. It's not a lunge, even though your muscle memory might say, oh yeah, we just did this. We just did a lunge. Nope, it is a hinge. Show you from this side, kickstand deadlift. Right here. 30 seconds and 30 seconds, right? Breathe. 3, 2, last one. And relax. Yes, team. Get a little stretch through those hamstrings and meet me down on the mat. All right, so here's what we got. Instead of that overhead press, we're going to a chest press. If going down on the mat is not your thing, you wanna keep that regular shoulder press, you can. Otherwise, join me on your back. We're going at a little bit of a 45-degree angle, press up and in, come down and out. You can go 2 dumbbells or 1 kettlebell in the center. Let's do it. Right through here. Now, as you're here, remember those elbows are not coming right down by your side or right out by your shoulders. Split the difference. Small angle. So then we can press up and in. Yes, we're getting chest and shoulders, but we're also activating the triceps, the back of the arms. You can probably guess that we're gonna isolate triceps as those smaller muscles when we come back to this move, right? Right through here. Boom. Right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, team, since we're here, we're going into a plank. So you can take this plank on the wall, you can elevate it, or you can take it on your knees or your knees here. But we're gonna mix up our pattern just because we're already down here. But your plank is here. We're lifting up either to just the knees or all the way up, and we're gonna hold. Join me. Here we go. Again, if the plank is not right for you, you can take it to a standing knee raise, or take this plank on the wall, elbows on the wall, walk your feet back, or elevated surface. Now from here, if you can, hands about shoulder width apart, keeping the chest open, but zipping up the core. So a little tuck of the pelvis, not here, but not letting it drop. Little tuck, hips to ribs, button up the rib cage, tighten out those legs and those glutes. Feel how when you tighten out, make sure you're breathing, but feel how that helps you contract even tighter all through the center in your core. Holding for 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, team, now we're back up onto our feet. We just did that since we were already down. So now let's finish with the lunge. That might be a better one to finish with. Anyway, we are gonna go 40 seconds each because we're gonna get a break from our hands. You can do 1 kettlebell or dumbbells. I'll go dumbbells this time. Cross behind in a curtsy lunge. You can, of course, just do a tap back if that's a better option for you, or just the regular lunge or tap back. But if you can, we're crossing behind. We call this the transverse plane. So we get lots of hips, glutes. Go heavy if you can, especially my experienced exercisers out there. Let's do it. Right here. Drop it low. Press out of those hips. So I'm keeping my hips and my shoulders square. What I'm not doing is turning my entire body, right? I'm just crossing that foot behind. A lot of times people ask me where that back needs to be. Not too far from that front heel, but it's a little bit of deciding what's best for you. Maybe you have longer legs, you need to go a little bit further back. Of course, you can also do a slight hinge forward, give you a little more balance, really get into those glutes. 3, 2, 1, give your hands a break. All right, team, we are taking it to the other side. 40 seconds, heart rate should be up a bit. I know mine is. Same thing over here, cross behind, get low if you can. If that doesn't feel good, regular lunge or tap back. 3, 2, 1, get low, drive it up. Curtsy is a great way to really improve our mobility, right? Again, we're not just staying in that sagittal or frontal plane, we call it. We're not just moving front to back, side to side. We're actually twisting that transverse. Good for our joints because we do that in life, right? Keep those shoulders pulled back. Woo, burn. Right here. After this, we're grabbing water, team. 5 seconds to go. Can you get 2 more good ones? Last one, I know. Burn, yes, team. Woo. Grab a sip of water. Here we go. Quick sip. Heart rate should be up. Hopefully you're feeling it. I know I am. Here is what we've got, team. So, last round. Shake it out if you need to. Often I like to give you what I call cardio mobility, just to kind of shake out what we've been working. All right, so with that squat, it's your pick if you want to go toes forward or toes out, but you can either bring the kettlebell up to a goblet or rack those weights on your shoulders if you want the variety. Otherwise, you pick your squat. Our upper pull, we're gonna take it to a bicep curl. Our hinge, we're gonna give you the option to take it to a swing, triceps, side lunge, and a plank. Not so bad. Grab a heavy weight for that squat, whatever it is for you. Goblet squat, or racked, or regular. Here we go. Bring it up. So finishing out, back to basics, your squat motion. Again, we do this all day long, and we do this our entire lives. So maybe you're somebody who's been through an injury and has been told maybe you shouldn't squat. Well, you have to squat, right? Sitting in a chair, getting in your car, getting up off the toilet. We need this motion to be strong. Now, maybe if you had an injury, you have to be careful with it. Maybe you don't want to go heavy loads, but we need this movement in our lives. So train for it, whatever that means for you. I'm not saying don't listen to your doctors. I'm saying we gotta have that mobility. Last one, breathe. Whew. All right, team, so our last upper pull is our basic bicep curl. Light weights, if you got them, you can do, or medium weights, you can do kettlebell, you can do dumbbells. I'm gonna go 2 dumbbells. Bend your knees to get them. Zip up the core. Here we go. Up and in, down and out. Now, obviously, everything that we're doing, we're grouping upper pull and upper push together, but there are variations on each one. Variations on rows, variations on flies, variations on your presses. So we got more of that coming, but today, again, we're focusing on those major movement patterns. Upper pull, again, we lift stuff all day long, whether you're picking up your kids, boxes, groceries, whatever it is, we're doing this. But of course, there are variations on this as well. So close. Last one, and breathe. All right, team, so if you've done a swing before, you wanna try it, we're taking kettlebell or dumbbell through the center. This is still that hinge pattern, right? But we're adding some power. Power, lock it out at the top, let it drop. Chest drop, power, let it drop. If you've never done that before, stick with just your regular deadlift, or if that doesn't feel right for you, regular deadlift works too. We've got 30 seconds, team. Grab that weight or weights, hinge it, prep it, swing. Here we go. Yes, all the way up. And again, if that is not right for you, you just let your chest drop and hinge in that deadlift like we just did. Drive it up, let it drop, up, let it drop. Lock out at the top. You are not controlling it with your arms. You're getting that power to bring it up. Last one. Let it swing. Don't stop the swing in midair. And then relax. Pedal in those feet. Yes, team. All right. Now we're gonna take it to a tricep press. We're gonna take it on the mat, but if that is not right for you, you can go overhead tricep press with 1 dumbbell or kettlebell. Otherwise, we're going 2 down on the mat. So I'm gonna grab my 10s here. You probably want something, again, medium to heavy. We're bending through the elbow and extending up. We're not moving through the shoulders. Join me on the mat, core engage. Shift those shoulders back. We're going from here to here. Let's go. And listen, guys, I know in an effort to keep these videos shorter so you don't feel like you have to be here forever, and also to keep our heart rates up. I know sometimes it feels like we're rushing from standing to on the mat, but listen, you do you. Take your time. If you need a little more time to get down into this position to get a good setup, I would rather you get quality over quantity. Doesn't matter how many you get in these 40 seconds. If you get it in 30, or if you get it slower. 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, team, this time let's keep our order. We're gonna go back to our lunge pattern. Here is what we've got. We got side lunge. We're gonna go 30 and 30, right side and left side. So 1 heavy weight or 2 heavy weights, we're stepping into a side lunge. So we're driving our hips to the back, we're pushing out of it. If you need to keep it stationary and just shift, you can do that too. I got 2 heavy dumbbells, but you can do a kettlebell too. Let's do it. Here we go. All on one side for 30 seconds. Shift your weight. Now we're stepping out straight leg to bent leg. Watch me here. You're gonna drive your hips back. So we are building in a little bit of a hinge, and then you shift your weight to that side, hold for a count, push up out of it. Yes, you feel the difference, right? We don't have quite the same quad burn as a regular lunge, but we feel those smaller muscles, inner outers working. Let's go other side right here. Woo! Make sure you have some space. Here and up. I want you to get low, but more than that, I want you to think about shifting to the side so you can push out of that hip. Keeping the chest open, especially as we're getting tired here. I know. And up. Ha. 3, 2, 1. And last one, why not? And relax, deep. Woo! All right, team. So just for something a little extra special, we have 2 different variations on our core. We're gonna do some rotation through our dead bug, as in a bicycle. You can keep it standing in if you want. We're gonna do some rotation into a side plank from our plank. I'll talk you through it. Meet me on the mat if that's right for you. You can also just keep the dead bug, or we're going bicycle, shoulder to elbow, wrapping the core. Let's get it done. We got 40 seconds, tuck the pelvis, button up. Here we go. Slow and controlled. We're not going for speed here, right? This is not what it looks like. We're here to here. Now, I want you to think about all those different things. Core stability, right? Like we did with the dead bug and the plank. And now we're adding movement. So we're getting rotation. We're getting spinal flexion, right? Right through here. If you need to, keep those legs a little higher, or do just the lower or just the upper. You do you. 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug those knees in. All right, team, let's take it into that plank. Now again, you can be on your knees if you need to. Great modification is hands and knees to here into the side plank, to here into the side plank. But if you want to be on your elbows with me, I like to bring them here. We're gonna rotate, hold for a count, keep those hips up, back to center. So right and then left, center in between. 3, 2, strong plank position. Here we go. Center. Turn one way. Back to center, hold for a count. And here. So as we turn into it and out of it, make sure that you're keeping those hips up. And breathe. We're here. And lift. Yes. I know that core is tired, so if you need to drop to those knees, try to keep working through it, but don't lose form. We got 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Stretch it back right through here, team. Big stretch, I know. All right, team, up onto your feet. As many of you know if you've been here before, often I like to close our workouts with a bonus move. We've kept it back to basics, but you also know if we do a swing, I like to add another swing or two into our workout. So let's close with one swing as our bonus, only 30 seconds. Again, if that's not right for you, just your deadlift, stand up straight, or you pick any of those movement patterns that we just did. If you want to add it for one more second, 30-second interval, go for it. Otherwise, grab that kettlebell or dumbbell and let's swing it. Shoulders back. This is it, team. 30 seconds. We're gonna hinge it here. We're gonna prep it. Let's swing. 3, 2, here we go. And again, swing is not for everybody. I know some of you feel like you get a lot more out of that deadlift, so go for it. But if you want to incorporate that power, I love this move because we get it all. We get strength, we get mobility, we get power, and we certainly get cardio. But I love it because you don't really realize it until you're finished with the swing, and then you feel that heart rate push into those feet, lock out at the top. We got 3, 2, 1. Swing and relax. Pedal those feet, team. You did it. So wherever you are, hands either on top of your legs or on the kettlebell, let's just get a little hamstring stretch. And of course, if you need water, go for it. Yes, team. I am so proud of you for that. Let's just get our heart rate coming down. We're gonna do a quick little stretch, quick little cool down, mostly just to regulate our system, to get our bodies back to that place. But please get some more stretching on your own. Let's take our arms up right here. We had just a couple minutes at the end, but I know often you need to get out of here. You have a short amount of time. I do too. I get it. So get some more flexibility and mobility throughout your week, throughout your day. Don't count on your 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes of stretching after a workout to be your only stretching during the week. Reach those thumbs back, open up the chest, and if you can grab, take them here. Always good. And often my active recovery workouts, which are on the day 4 of my free calendar that you can check out in the links below. Let's open it up, stretch your back, stretch those inner thighs. Those are usually mobility, active recovery, so we build in all of it. Some gentle cardio, some mobility and flexibility. It's a great way to add a little bit more in throughout your week. Leave me a comment, how did you feel? Were you able to go heavy? Are you new trying this for the first time? Are you experienced and you were able to really go for it because you knew I wasn't gonna add any crazy second or third movements? Let me know. I wanna hear from you in the comments. And do you like this format where we add, instead of usually like 3 exercises, like a lower, upper, and core, where we do several? Well, no, it went by pretty quick, right? So let me know in the comments. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps me out so much and gets the BodyFit channel out to more people. And please join us on the BodyFit by Amy app if you are not there already. Thank you so much for being here today and for all of your hard work. One big deep breath in and out. You did it. That was your back to basics strength workout. Great job, everybody.